First an industrial dispute, then a strike. This is a scenario considered by trade unionists at the Turów mine and power plant. They're expected to make a decision on the matter within a few days. There is fear in the eyes of the workers. You can see. It's been talked about everywhere. Everyone is thinking what to do next here. This is the reaction to the decision of the Provincial Administrative Court in Warsaw, which overturned the environmental decision to continue lignite mining at the Turów mine. This means that Turów's operation after 2026 is in question. If this decision becomes law, we are facing a disaster, a catastrophe in many areas, an economic catastrophe, a social catastrophe, such a catastrophe from which we are unable to recover. People are generally shocked. I think the coming days will show how the region will react, while it will not look at it calmly. The mine, power plant and their subsidiaries employ nearly 5,000 people. But Turów is not only the largest employer in the region, but also one of the most important energy suppliers in the Polish energy system. The whole Green Deal, in my opinion, is subservient to this kind of terrorism. Really, Turów is the sort of the first instalment of what could happen in Poland if all these provisions that we are adopting at the moment in the European Parliament come into force. It will simply be a complete disaster. The Turów dispute has been continuing since 2021. The Czechs have alleged that the mine has caused groundwater levels in the border areas to drop. The European Court of Justice ordered the complex to close, despite Turov's huge investment in environmental protection. Let's remember that, in general, this CO2 emissions policy is conducted at an ideological level and in the interests of Germany, which is the Germany that wants to sell its so-called green, renewable energy technologies. The closure of Turów was not agreed to by the Law and Justice government. We are the guardians, the protectors of Polish mining, coal and lignite, and we will not allow the Polish mining industry to be shut down. Politicians of the then opposition, now part of the 13th December coalition, strongly demanded the closure of mines and power plants. Turów needs to be closed down. The only question is when it needs to be done. This is a court ruling and those in power must comply with it, no matter how painful and how difficult it is. This is what the European Union system is all about. The consequences of the possible closure of Turów will be felt by all Poles. Less electricity in the power system will mean an increase in electricity prices, imports from abroad, or restrictions on power supply. The government, and to some extent the court sympathetic to it, here represent more the vision of Brussels and not the vision of the Polish national interest. This is a sure signal also to the voters of Bogatynia and the surrounding areas, who mostly supported the civic platform and the current ruling coalition, and unfortunately they are reaping the harvest of this. The Turów mine and power plant complex currently supplies 8% of Poland's electricity and heating needs.